A man who set off a series of crashes that killed 2 people in Madison County is sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Coming up, we'll tell you about snow removal on Main Street in Georgetown.
We will show you how this new robot being used in central Kentucky actually works to clean hospitals.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon. We start with a breaking news alert out of Garrett County. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey for WKYT News. State police are at the scene of a very active situation right now just north of Lancaster.
Now it's happening right now on Woodridge Drive near the Jessamine County line. State police tell us they're responding to a fire call, but they have not released any other details. WKYT's Victor Puente has just arrived on the scene. He sent us this photo. He's speaking with emergency officials right now and will bring you the very latest information as it becomes available.
Obviously, we have information indicating it is quite an involved story, and we'll have the details shortly. All right, it's another cold start to the weekend, a mix of sunshine and clouds right now. That's expected to carry us into tomorrow, but temperatures and rain chances increase as we roll toward Sunday and into early next week. At least it will be March by then. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in our First Alert Weather Center. Jim?
And you know, the sad thing about March is it has everything involved with it. We can get more snow, we can get a lot of warmth, severe weather. It is the total package during that month, my friends. Right now, though, on First Alert Defender, Kentucky's most powerful live Doppler, it is quiet across Kentucky finally, as you see right there with those clean sweeps coming into play. Now, we look outside at several locations across central and parts of southeastern Kentucky, and you're going to find, of course, a similar scene with the snow still hanging out. But notice what we see around Lexington. You're starting to see less and less snow showing up. Around Richmond, they come in at 18 degrees with, again, less snow. You can start to see some of the grass peeking through, and especially down around the Corbin area where they're sitting also in the teens. We check ahead with our 24-hour planner. We likely get into the low 20s during the peak heating of the day, if that's what you want to call it. But by tomorrow, we're slightly warmer with mid-20s working their way back into the area. So another cold one before that big surge, at least of some warmth, gets in here for Sunday. We're closer to 40 degrees, maybe beyond in some cases, and the rain returns. We'll take a closer look at all of it coming up in just a few minutes.
Jimmy, thank you. More than a week after the brutal storm that hit Kentucky, crews are still working to clear the snow in several communities. In Georgetown, the plows came through and pushed all the snow into piles, causing mounds throughout the city. WKYT's Mike Linden continues our top story weather coverage in Scott County. Mike?
Following a historic snowfall earlier this month in Scott County, there's still some work left to be done in cleaning up Main Street here in Georgetown. Georgetown city officials say snow removal on Main Street has proven to be difficult. Plow trucks cleared the road after more than 10 inches of snow fell, but mounds of ice are still left piled up along the sidewalk. Public Works road crews cleared the large mounds of ice from Broadway Street last night. Mayor Tom Prather says he's concerned about damaging cars parked on Main Street during the removal process this weekend.
We want to get rid of the snow. We want to make things safer for our citizens, but we don't want to damage people's property so that when we have a clear area to work in, we just do our job more efficiently.
The mayor says snow removal will resume early tomorrow morning when traffic is the lightest. In Georgetown, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Now, officials say the original plan was to remove the mounds on Thursday, but the plan was pushed back to complete trash collection.
A man charged in a deadly chain reaction crash in central Kentucky could spend the next 10 years behind bars. Brian Magnum was sentenced this morning after pleading guilty to wanton endangerment charges. He caused a crash on I-75 in Madison County last February that killed 2 people. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Richmond with the latest on the case. Mark?
A judge followed the Commonwealth's recommendation, sentencing Brian Mangan to 10 years in prison for causing a series of crashes that led to the death of 2 people. The 57-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, didn't say anything when he was sentenced to 2 consecutive 5-year sentences on wanton endangerment charges. He was also sentenced to 1 year for tampering with physical evidence. Mangan is facing a $1,000 fine and will have to serve another 60 days for driving under the influence. Police say the 57-year-old is to blame for a deadly four-car pileup that happened last February near mile marker 92 on I-75. Investigators tell us Mangan set off a series of crashes when he slammed into a guardrail and several other vehicles. Investigators tell us 30-year-old Jeffrey Campbell of Louisville and 22-year-old Meredith Busher of Richmond both got out of their cars to help when they were hit and killed by an SUV. In December, Mangan admitted in court that he drank a lot of beer before he got behind the wheel. Mangan has been held in the Madison County Detention Center for a little more than a year and will get credit for time served. In Madison County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And Mangan will be eligible for parole after he serves 20% of his sentence. A frustrated business owner says his gas stations have been hit by burglars so many times that insurance companies now won't cover his properties anymore. Instead, repairs are having to come out of his own pocket. And that owner will have to fork over more cash after yet another overnight break-in at his Marathon gas station on Alexandria Drive. Surveillance video shows a man prying open the front door and stealing cigarettes. He says a similar crime recently happened at a gas station on Lane Allen Drive that the owner has as well.
They tore off the ATM, took probably around $7,000 from the ATM, and they took probably over like $10,000 worth of cigarette cartons.
So far, no arrests have been made in either case, and the suspect in the overnight break-in was wearing a ski mask, a blue jacket, and gloves.
Police are trying to figure out the circumstances behind an overnight shooting in Lexington. A man showed up at UK Hospital around 2 this morning, claiming he was accidentally shot in the leg at a townhouse on Unity Drive off Red Mile Road near the UK campus. Police say they aren't sure if that's really what happened, but so far no one has been charged. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a gunman killed at least 7 people in overnight shootings at several different scenes before turning the gun on himself. The 36-year-old suspect was found dead early this morning from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The victims were found at 4 different homes in and around the town of Tyrone, about 40 miles north of the Arkansas border. A motive for the killings and possible connections between the shooter and the victims is not immediately clear. A Kentucky hospital is taking the lead when it comes to patient safety and care with some new state-of-the-art technology.
Might be a look at the future. Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center in Danville has purchased a $100,000 germ zapping robot to destroy highly contagious germs, including Ebola. WKYT's Rebecca Smith is in Boyle County, and she shows us how it works. Rebecca?
So this sterilizing robot, it doesn't necessarily spit out cleaning solution and wipe up the germs. It actually zaps it by using ultraviolet technology.
Staph infection, bacterial infection, even Ebola doesn't stand a chance against this high-tech robot that can sanitize a room in just 15 minutes. The Texas company that manufactures it explained how it works Friday at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center and offered a demonstration.
It's more like the type of bulbs that are used at the top of radio towers that can be seen for miles. It's about 25,000 times more intense than the UVC from sunlight. And so that germicidal light is able to break down the DNA and just tear up the book of life that's in those bacteria, so they cannot replicate and they die.
The machine's been in use for a couple of months as part of a pilot project, and they've decided that they are wanting to invest that $100,000 for use in this in all patient care areas of the hospital. Reporting in Boyle County, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. And this robot is the first to be used at a private hospital in Kentucky. It is already being used in some other states. Maybe a lot of those in the future.
Very
right?
interesting,
yeah,
yes.
Well, a proposal for a new development near downtown Lexington is moving forward.
Our partners at the Herald Leader report the Urban County Planning Commission has approved a zone change for the Thistle Station project. Plans call for a 16-story building on Newtown Pike at West 3rd Street. It would include apartments, retail, and restaurant space. The Urban County Council still has to approve it.
Sizable project there. Well, time is running out for Congress to pass a bill funding the Department of Homeland Security.
We'll have the latest on a possible last-minute deal next on Kentucky's #1 midday news.
And also ahead on WKYT, the great dress debate rages on today. We'll have more on the Team Black and Blue versus Team White and Gold. Quite a controversy coming up on WKYT News at noon.